Kodiak National Wildlife Refuge was established in 1941, primarily to protect the giant Kodiak brown bear. Some 3,000 bears roam this enchanted emerald isle of steep mountains, sparkling rivers, and rugged coastline. Kodiak brown bears, among the largest of all bears, can be up to 9 feet tall and weigh close to 1,500 pounds. Bears, and bald eagles as well, thrive on Kodiak due to the massive salmon spawning runs. From May to early fall, the bears gather along the streams and gorge themselves. The refuge's salmon are important not only to the bears, eagles, and sport anglers, but also to the state and local economy. Togiak National Wildlife Refuge has wetlands crucial to waterfowl, bays that harbor marine mammals, coastal cliffs crammed with seabird colonies, as well as 1,500 miles of fish-filled rivers that tempt anglers from around the world. Popular are the Connecticut, Good News, and Togiak rivers that flow through the Togiak wilderness. At Cape Pierce and at other places along the coast, thousands of walrus haul out on the sand to warm up, often under the watchful eye of biologists who track the health of the herd. Yukon Delta National Wildlife Refuge is an immense treeless wetland, a 26 million acre delta formed by 2 mighty rivers, the Yukon and the Kuskokwim. Nearly 1/3 of the refuge is covered with lakes, ponds, and streams, interspersed with bogs and thickets. Ideal nesting conditions for waterfowl, shorebirds, and other species. Every spring, the birds arrive on Yukon Delta by the tens of millions. They've come from almost every state and province in North America, as well as many countries around the Pacific. Yukon Delta is one of the most productive nesting areas in North America, producing millions of birds. Within the boundaries of the refuge are more than 40 native villages scattered along the rivers and on the coast. The Yupik people have lived here for thousands of years and have always depended on the delta and its abundant natural resources for their subsistence. As the weather warms, the families traditionally go out to their summer fish camps to enjoy the land and collect food for the coming winter. Innoko National Wildlife Refuge is named after the great river which flows through the refuge. The river and its tributaries attract breeding waterfowl and songbirds, which nest in the basin's extensive wetlands and forests. Moose, drawn to this lush valley, feed on the willows that flourish because of the river's frequent flooding. The refuge also attracts researchers and volunteers who spend the summer in its isolated field camp, conducting biological surveys. Aquatic plants in the lakes are identified and their location noted as part of the refuge's plant mapping and habitat protection program. Water samples from around the refuge are chemically analyzed for the presence of minerals and contaminants from historic and current gold mining activities within the refuge's watershed.
Zone 3 is...
Plant species are systematically identified within sample plots throughout the refuge. All this data will help establish an information baseline so changes in the environment can be monitored. After all, if you do not know what you have, how can you tell when changes occur? Nowitna National Wildlife Refuge is another of the great interior refuges. Its wetlands formed and nourished by the Nowitna River. The grassy margins of the many ponds and lakes provide nesting spots for ducks and geese. The Nowitna River, a nationally designated wild and scenic river, is ideal for float trips as it meanders for more than 200 miles through the refuge. Archaeological evidence shows that people have trapped and fished in the interior of Alaska along rivers like the Yukon and Nowitna for more than 10,000 years. Today, the tradition continues. Migrating salmon are smoke-dried and provide food through the long winter months. Kayakuk National Wildlife Refuge lies in a basin surrounded by rolling low mountains and bisected by the Kayakuk River, a tributary of the Yukon, which flows down from the Brooks Range. Fire is a major contributor to the diversity of the northern forest ecosystem. Refuge biologists are interested in learning how plants and wildlife colonize burned areas. In this study, yellow-cheeked voles within a sample area are captured and marked. The data collected will help biologists answer questions about the vole's life cycle, population dynamics, and the kind of habitat they prefer. Yellow-cheeked voles, the largest of Alaska's voles, are a colonial species and move into burned areas earlier than other vole species. Because they are an important food source for a wide array of Alaskan mammals and birds, the voles attract wildlife back into an area after a fire. They represent a vital link in the vast boreal forest ecosystem. Straddling the Arctic Circle is Selawik National Wildlife Refuge, named after the river which meanders through its tundra wetlands and bogs. The western Arctic caribou herd, one of the largest in North America, migrates through the refuge twice a year. Moose are often seen in the willow thickets that flourish at the edge of wetlands. For many thousands of years, the Inupiaq people have hunted, fished, and gathered berries along the Selawik River. These traditional activities continue to this day. In midsummer, the abundant berries ripen and entire families come out for the harvest. Having a firearm handy is only prudent, since bears also love the berries. On Selawik, research is underway to gather baseline data about plants that grow on the refuge. In a study designed to ensure statistical accuracy, transects are measured and at intervals all plants are cataloged. Knowing the diversity and abundance of the refuge's plant life will help create a baseline vegetation map that will be important when making management decisions when fires occur. Canudi National Wildlife Refuge, a mosaic of wetlands, lakes, streams, forests, and bogs, lies in a basin formed by the Kayakuk and Canudi rivers. At selected locations on Canudi, the birds are periodically counted and identified in a systematic manner. At several places on the refuge, a 100-meter transect has been carefully laid out. The biologist and an assistant walk the transect, stopping at specific intervals to identify all birds seen or heard within a precise period of time.
Visual on a yellow warbler, inside 50 meters. Gray-cheeked thrush, outside 50 meters, sing. Swainson thrush, inside 50 meters. A gray jay.
Because each survey is conducted in exactly the same manner each year, population trends for birds on Canudi can be accurately monitored.
Thrush, call, inside 50 meters.
Several wolves belonging to different packs on Canudi have been fitted with collars that transmit an identifying radio signal. At regular intervals, a biologist follows the signal to find the wolf. The location is recorded so that the wolf's movements can be plotted.